Hello everyone, brothers. The new part of the recap, links to the past are in the description and in the comments. Enjoy your viewing. The emblem on the chest of the Respol. It contained a message that Respol wanted to convey to Grigory before his death. Dark hair. Black mask. Under 20 years old. Height 170. Transf. Dark-haired and wearing a mask? And so young. Respol was defeated by a teenager? It can't be. And it's also a word that I couldn't make out. Grigory sat and discussed the information received. Everyone was deep in thought. Transf. What did he want to say? Hanel thought about it. Transformation. The man who came into the office loudly declared. I think it said transformation. In an instant, all eyes were gathered on him. Dark. It's you? Where have you been all the time? Do you even know what the situation is now? Sure. The masked man replied. I stopped by the VH. On my way here. BH? Surprise appeared on the faces of all the sitting heroes. So you found out something? You must have noticed something. How to say? Dark replied mockingly. Quite an interesting picture. What? The lynx asked furiously. The veins in his arm bulged and he gripped the chair with force. Damn bastard. Did you seem interesting just now? He continued to yell in anger. Respol is dead. Respol? And you call that interesting? Are you interested, huh? What's wrong with you? What is the problem? Dark asked in surprise. Bastard. The lynx yelled and was about to rush at Dark, but he was stopped. Fucking psychopath. Lynx. Calm down. He's always like that. Dark sighed. Oh, and why did you stop him? It would be a funny situation. Hanel raised his voice a little. Dark. Stop it. Don't you see what the situation is here? Oh, have I crossed the line? Since even the eternally calm Hanel is mad at me. I'm sorry if I offended you. I didn't mean anything bad. He just said that the battlefield looked interesting. After these words, the lynx clicked his tongue and plopped back into the chair. And then he added. Tell me everything you know and get out of here. Sick bastard. Looking around in his pocket, Dark sighed again. I came to help, and in the end I was doused with verbal slops. You don't change lynx. He fished a memory card out of his pocket and said. All the information is here. I will go. I have to leave before the lynx attacks me again. Already heading for the exit, he heard Hanel's words. Dark, wait. The masked man turned around in surprise. Let's officially become part of the team and help us. We need your help. Is it possible? Dark asked in surprise. Wouldn't the dirty pigs from the management mind? The bell rang. Wait. Hanel asked Dark. Accepting the challenge, he spoke. Yes, Deputy Jang Hwansok. This is Hanel. Something happened? Oh Ale. I've heard about Respol. I am so sorry. Isn't this the first time I've called you myself? That's because I'm very busy. Hahaha. I hope you understand me. Yes, it's all right. Hanel replied without emotion. The deputy continued. Ha, you really are as kind as they say you are. You know there's an election coming up, right? I'm sure I've already heard. Haha. The ale didn't betray any emotions. Yes, he replied, go on. And the deputy continued. Respol is very sorry, but the management does not want the matter to take a serious turn. And suddenly all this will become a hindrance for me in the elections. It's all got to be hushed up somehow. That's politics. When they elect me, and believe me, there are more such cases. But he was not allowed to continue. L seems to have lost his temper. Mr. Chan. Hey. What is it? Respol died. Our comrade. Our brother is dead. How can you talk about elections? What kind of cases? The deputy's voice faltered. Oh, no. That's not what I meant. But the ale didn't stop. We are not in a position to forgive anyone right now. This time we'll figure it out in our own way. The deputy's voice was almost screaming. Ale? Hanel? Wait. But he didn't wait. The pipe was hung up. Dark, who was looking at this picture with surprise, suddenly said. Hanel, you look more like your old self today. Nice to see. Again without emotion, Hanel said. Well, in general. Dark, are you with us? There was silence for a moment. But after a second, Dark replied. Good. Let's work together. Thanks, Dark. Now. Let's catch this bastard. A little later on the grave of Respol. Dark stood in the light of the moon and peered into the crypt. Then, he fished a flower out of his pocket. After laying it on the grave, he went for information. It's been a long time since that day. I don't remember it, but they say I killed Repol. And my life has changed a lot. To begin with, I left school. Although the director was confused because I had good grades and in general everything is good at school. After signing the papers, I politely said goodbye to him and left. Even though the school was useless and didn't mean much, it was a bit of a pity to leave. That's really it now. So, what else do I have left? She was breathing heavily, apparently running as fast as she could to get here. I already know everything. She said. Are you leaving? Why? I said, confused. I'm just leaving. Far away. Ha. Then I'll leave school too. She answered abruptly like lightning. What? I didn't expect this. Why so suddenly? Joke. She replied. Everything is as usual. There was an awkward silence, but I decided to break it. Don't you have to go to class? Suddenly she spoke. Did you know that I'm actually an outsider? If it wasn't for you, I would never have had fun and laughed with the guys. I was a little shocked by her words. And? What? Are you making fun of me? You're so popular. I'm serious. She replied. I've always been alone. It seemed to me that having fun with classmates was childish. I'm also from a shelter. I do not know how old I am. Maybe I'm even older than you. Foster parents indicated only my approximate age, so it was not easy to make friends with the guys at school. Do I have to go to school? Boredom is mortal. I thought. Most of all, I hated the task for groups. So most of all it was obvious that I didn't fit in. I usually teamed up with those who stayed, hoping that they would turn out to be smart guys. It was also difficult for them with such a gloomy classmate like me, and in the end it turned out that I did not want to communicate with them. But actually, I was a little lonely. And then, I heard voices. What do you really say? Well, yes, but what's the big deal? She's a little bit of that. It's all right. And that was your voice. Listen. Have you already chosen your team? We don't have enough people. If you haven't decided yet, why don't you join us? And I wanted to be on the same team with you. Good. I answered. There was concern in your words. So I thought we could be friends. Having fun with friends turned out to be nicer than I thought. And there was nothing childish about it. So I was able to make friends with the rest of the guys and became who I am now. Really? I thought about it. I didn't know that. Really? I asked. I don't even remember. I started liking Jean somewhere in the middle of the semester. Thanks. It came from her. I said in surprise. I really wanted to tell you this. Thanks. Thanks to you, my school life has become fun. Smiling, she told me this. Take care of yourself and don't get sick. Suddenly, I felt I had to say something. Jean, stop. Listen. Can I write to you? Maybe we can see each other again. But saying this, I understood that it was impossible. Must not. You can't write to her, for her own sake. Of course you can. I'll be waiting. Right. Smiling, she headed back to school. And I was left standing on the street alone. How did it happen? What did I want? Jun Chop texted me. Without me, Yoon Tae-jin's gang ended up in a hospital bed after getting a lull from high school students. I'm lonely. The strongest villain? Why do I need it? But you can't catch an arrow halfway through. Maybe I was too frivolous? I've been thinking about it. A little later, on the territory of BH Henham, it's too late, we've gone too far. The man who was almost killed by Respol was looking at me. The villain person. Oh, yeah. I answered awkwardly. Pull yourself together. He encouraged me. After all, you killed Respol, a great hero and a comrade of many other heroes. People like him can be counted on the fingers of the whole world. Now not only heroes will be looking for you, but also villains who want to make themselves known. Very uncertain, I confirmed. Yes, but… Person leaned a little closer. Yes, Henham, speak up. Will you still talk to me formally? I asked in surprise. Person just nodded and added. This is the only way to address Henham. Suddenly, the door opened and a man with pink hair and makeup on his face came into the room. Hey boss. We're all out of side dishes. I want an egg roll. Person looked at him angrily. Gamajan. Watch your tongue in the presence of Henham. Oh, how scary. He replied. Boss, buy some food. You are welcome. That bastard. It seemed that Person got angry and was about to get into a fight when suddenly. I'll buy it well. I answered. Henham. Person said irritably. You can't listen to all their whims. Hey, our boss is really the best. Gamajan shouted. Suddenly, there was a loud scream. Who dared? Who dared to drink my coffee? Another kid burst into the room. He was small, even shorter than me, and he screamed like he wasn't himself. "Gamajin, was it you again? You were told to stay away from him, you damn villainous pig." In response to this, Gamajin only grinned. "Shitri. Are you being rude again? You don't have any concepts at all. And not only concepts." And while they were sorting it out, person brought me a cup. "Henam, have some coffee." "Ah, thank you." Speaking of which, it happened a few days after the murder of Repol. I woke up in an unfamiliar room. Oh. Head. Did I pass out? How did it happen? Suddenly, a voice was heard. "Henam, are you awake?" "What? Henam? Where am I anyway?" Surprised, I shook my head and immediately noticed the very type that Respol was chasing. "How good that you woke up." "Henam." Clearly not understanding what was going on, I decided to justify myself. "I think you've got me confused with someone else." "Me, Henam? I don't even know you." Suddenly the red-headed guy bowed. "You saved my life," he shouted. "From now on, I'll call you Henam and Dudu. And follow you implicitly." "What?" I froze for a moment. My brain couldn't digest the information. "Stop. It can't be. It was you I saw in BH?" Rising from a bow, he said. "My name is Person. I grew up there and lived alone. Everyone here lives by the laws of the jungle, and I also live by them. But you saved my life." Clenching his fist, he shook. He was obviously honest. "This is the first time I have received such care and help from anyone. You saved my life, and now it's in your hands." So I started living with Person. And soon. This is Gamajin. A mercenary hired for security. He may be crazy, but he's a specialist. He's definitely good at what he does. "Hello, darling," he said when he saw me. Oh, I was so curious about who Person was telling me about. "So it's you? Such a cutie. Right in my taste." A little hesitated, I answered. "Ah, hello. My name is Kim-san. Glad to meet you." He seemed to freeze for a moment. "Glad? Is that all?" "Yes, why?" I answered honestly. Grabbing me by one shoulder, he happily said. "Oh, baby, you're so innocent. Call me Hying. I'll take care of you." Suddenly, Person flared up. "Gamajin, are you completely crazy?" Only later did I find out that Gamajin is a very popular villain. So, he joined us. And then there's Shitri. "Can I help you with something?" I asked Person every time, and each time I got about the same answer. "No, Henam, rest. And you can talk to me informally." I was surprised. "I will try." Suddenly there was a knock on the door. "A knock?" I asked. This is the first time someone is knocking on this door. "Are we waiting for someone?" "No." Person answered gloomily. "Nobody even knows us here." Henam stepped back. "Gamajin." "I know." He answered and grabbed a knife. Lightly opening the door, Person saw a small guy. "Who are you?" he asked. "Henam, do you know him?" I shook my head negatively. "No. It's the first time I've seen him." "Who are you?" "My name is Dr. Shitri." The guy introduced himself. And then he screamed. "I've heard a lot about Mr. San." "Mr. San. Let me join you." "What?" The three of us froze in place. After a while we were sitting in the lobby. The guy told me. "My name is Dr. Shatri. I witnessed the battle of San and Respol. After that, I followed Mr. San unnoticed. What a powerful force and modest character. You are the one I was looking for. And I decided that it was necessary." "Must I?" I asked again. "I will conquer this world. I want to give you this world, Mr. San." He shouted. "What?" I was in shock. "So it was you who followed us everywhere?" Person hissed. "Aren't you an ordinary person?" But the doctor kept talking. "Mr. San. I have an extraordinary intellect. And because of this, the state and the heroes oppressed me all the time. But when I saw how Mr. San defeated Respol, I saw a new hope." Wow. Gamajin was surprised. What kind of oppression can there be in our time? But the doctor only got angry. I proved it. That Korea with Grigori is the strongest country in the world. Sneak attack the whole earth with nuclear bombs. And when war is declared, neutralize the whole world with the help of Grigori. But I was ignored. And I maybe because you're too young? I asked. But the doctor continued. "Mr. San. This world has been rotten for a long time. Take me to yourself. Together we will change it." Gamajin jumped in. "Oh, we don't like to be bothered. Leave. I'm talking to Mr. San. Don't get into the conversation. Damn pervert." "Wow!" shouted Gamajin. "Look at this." Boss, what are we going to do? Cut off the tongue, sew up the mouth, hang it on a tree and leave it? Don't say such scary things with that face. Yes, please. The doctor answered. What? I was surprised. Anyway, if Mr. Sand refuses me, I will have no hope. I'd rather just die than walk aimlessly around the world. Well, die, who's stopping you? Ha ha ha. The pink-haired man laughed. Person also intervened. Henham, Gamagen is right. He's dangerous just because he knows this place. I'll decide everything. Let's go outside. Or will you die here? He said. But I was becoming him. Stand. Kill? Seriously? You can stay here for now. You can't kill him. Have you heard? The doctor's eyes sparkled with happiness. Really? Thanks. Thank you very much. I will be devoted to you for the rest of my life. He said and immediately continued. There are 4 of us. Not bad. Then we will distribute Mr. Sand's legion like this. Gamagen whispered mockingly to Person. Are 4 people already a legion? Tell me, did he overdo it? Maybe he has such a concept? Shut up. The doctor interrupted them. The composition is as follows. Mr. Person will be the bodyguard. He's not that stupid. Person thought. Gamagen is our main fighter. And I'm the commander-in-chief. Gamagen immediately objected. Oh, baby, and who appointed you commander-in-chief? It seems you underestimate us. How did you find out about us? Who sent you? The doctor only calmly replied. I graduated from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. With honors at the age of 7. And I have 58 doctorates. Do you think with such a baggage of knowledge I can't find out something like this? We just stood in a stupor, all 3 of us. A real villain. For the first time I see pure evil. How can you get 58 degrees? Such thoughts were spinning in our heads. So it's settled. It remains to come up with a name. Great. I've decided. Now we will be called Seprum. Seprum? It means people who will change the world. What's your name, sir? Do we really need a name? Gamagen asked. Aha. Why be so wise? Person confirmed. But I was delighted. After that, we set up a house in BH and began to live together. Shitri said that it was better for him to live with us so that the heroes would not find him. It may be a dangerous place, but Shitri's neighbors are much more dangerous. Our days. Shitri is yelling at the top of her lungs. Hey. Are you lying around again? We would do something at least. Well, yes, for example, washing, I confirmed. Mr. San should rest. Added Shitru, addressing 2 of my subordinates. Do you want Mr. San to do everything himself? Is he always like this? Gamagen asked. Can we kill him on the sly? Person suggested. Then I'll go too. I declared. Mr. San. Suddenly Shitru called out to me. Can I talk to you for a minute? Oh, okay. We went into the hall. Mr. San. We need to pull ourselves together. As Person said, many enemies are aimed at you. Oh, yeah. Mr. San, you are surprisingly ill-informed. I just smiled. Ha, well, there is such a thing. After my words, he plopped the textbook in front of me. Then I will tell you about the heroes who pose a danger to us. The name of the textbook. Encyclopedia of Heroes. By Shitri. First of all, he began, Grigori. You know them. The strongest team of heroes in the world. From Korea. Next, the Keepers. The biggest team of heroes in the world. From America. We can say that 60% of all heroes are from there. Recently, 2 of their heroes died in Texas. And they're a little on edge. Next, the Knights of the Temple. The team from Israel is the strongest after Grigori. But the head will die from illness any day now. He did not prepare an heir, so everything turned upside down for them. They say the leader is called the Lion King. And he's almost as strong as Hanel. Next is Ultra Nippon. The team from Japan is not the strongest, but they are close to us geographically. And they don't like us very much. Why? I asked. This jerk killed the leader. And now they're looking for him. Person looked away, embarrassed. Haha. I didn't know that would happen. Now, you should know which of the Grigori you should be wary of. Since Respol is dead, there are 5 main members and 1 secret one left in Grigori. They can be divided into classes. Magic experts. Specialists in combat. And specialists in weapons. Ta damn. He opened the book, on the page where the heroes were distributed. There were even photos. Where did you get the pictures? There are always ways. To begin with, the leader. Hanel. Quite popular. Isn't it? A hero of incredible strength. In second place is the Russian Blue. No one in the world can compare with her in physical strength. Then the red lynx. Has trouble controlling anger. Master of surveillance. Master Jin. Retired officer. He was the strongest in the world before the advent of the Russian blue. Next is the darkness. He is weaker than everyone else. But he is incredibly smart and makes his own weapons. And he is so belligerent that even other heroes whisper about him. And the last Esther. She is originally from the Knights of Harem. He has 12 summoning techniques. They are all about the level of Respol. Now do you understand the danger you are in? Yes. I think I understand now. Now the lynx is the most dangerous. He was Respol's best friend, most likely he went off the rails. Good. I answered standing up. I'll remember. Wait a minute. The doctor stopped me. As I said, the first and second number in Grigori is Hanel and the Russian blue. However, this darkness. If you suddenly meet him one-on-one, try to avoid a battle. Didn't you say he was weaker than the others? His fighting abilities are weak, but like I said, he's incredibly smart. Be sure to stay away from him. In all his battles, victory was his. Whoever he's fighting. Therefore, be sure, if you suddenly meet him, run.